Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome. This is Abhishek from Sportskeeda MMA. We have with us here today a very special guest, UFC strawweight sensation Mackenzie Dern, joining us live from New York City, where she fights this weekend at UFC 295. Mackenzie, thank you for joining us. And how have you been since your last fight?
Yeah, thanks for having me. I've been good. I'm so happy I asked for a former champion. I thought that was like a good test for me. Next, after my last fight, um, I wanted to be back in the top five, get close to the title contender. So, I'm training for this card. I'm training for Jessica for a while now. And yeah, in New York, Madison Square Garden, like a very famous arena. So I'm so excited to put on a show.
Like you mentioned, Jessica Andrade is a former UFC strawweight champion, and she's known to have this explosive style. She comes to knock you out. So, how do you view this matchup as a test of her skills and the challenges that lie ahead in this matchup?
I mean, I don't want to say like, oh, it never happened to me, or anything like that. You never say never, right? But I think like at least in my fights, I've shown like that I like to come forward too, and I'm not scared of like the battle. And I don't know, a lot of people say like I'm really durable, like my last fight with Young Shannon, that knocked out Jessica. I took one that my legs kind of got like a little bit wobbly, but still stayed there in the fight, So I think out of a lot of the girls in the strawweight division, I'm one of the ones that can take it, take the punch if I need to. But of course, the biggest challenge is to try and stay out of her knockout power that she has. She's famous for, um, and take advantage, of my grappling that she likes to come forward. Always in my fights, I'm chasing and chasing and chasing, and so I'm happy when I can find someone that goes forward too. Because I just need to close the distance. I just need to be prepared for that. But if I can close the distance, then we're good.
And us as fans, we've seen this overall involvement in your game, and we could see that in each fight. So, in the past, you've also spoken about the challenges of balancing personal struggles with competing inside the octagon. And how have you managed to navigate this over time? And could you discover like effective strategies that help you now in competing with that?
Man, I thought that like I would understand the formula, and no have no problems, and be able to be at peace the whole camp and everything like that. But I'm starting to realize no matter like which problems you resolve, you keep having more, you're more and more, So people like don't believe, but this camp was like really crazy for me too. At the same time, a lot of like crazy things happening in my personal life. But what we did a little bit, we made a home gym for me, So I train at the UFC gym in Costa Mesa, but I train mostly at my house. I have like my own gym and everything, and I felt that that was really good for me. To be like save my time. I realized I get like, man, I'm trying to do 10,000 trainings in one day and be a mom and take care of the house and pay the bills and everything. So once we started to cut off things of I don't know like I ride my bike to the gym, instead of driving all the place and everything like that, and trying to get my time better. I realized that helped me a little bit. I'm just in my house, more privacy, not everyone like looking at what you're doing and you're thinking about what people are judging you and how's your training. I'm someone that if you see me on the gym, you won't believe like that I was a world champion in jiu-jitsu or something, because I'm probably getting like beat up and everything like that, But when I go to the fight, everything I train, it all works and everything happens, So I'm not someone that I need to in the training. I lose my training, my training sessions all the time, So for me to make my camp and everything more private, was I felt really helped me a lot to, be able to stay in my own thoughts and just kind of think about, stay focused on the strategy and trying to get better, even though it's uncomfortable. It's not easy to get better because you need to go out of your comfort zone.
Absolutely, absolutely. And like you mentioned, like we all know you're a grappling world champion, so like you're a jiu-jitsu world champion. And as fans, we can see that you're always open and willing to learn. And we saw you training with Henry Cejudo. So how was those training sessions? And was there anything especially that he mentioned to you for this fight?
Yeah, I mean, it was good because one thing I think I was missing a lot was my range in the fight, my distance. All the time I couldn't find my range. I think that was one thing that you see, like some of the champions, the top fighters, they find their range, and like you said, for me, for grappling, my range is just like in your personal space the whole time, no really range on the strike, anything like that. So he kind of helped me with that. It's a dance, when they take one step forward, you take one step back, and then when you decide to go for the takedown, then you go, and you kind of draw them into your dance that you want, and we focus a lot on that. So I feel even for my last fight and now this fight, I was able to understand my range in a fight, and I don't need to be at her strongest point, her strongest distance. I can be at now I'm the longer girl, so I can be or outside or inside, and kind of not be usually when I punch and I land things, I just go forward, and I don't, I'm excited and now I hurt them, and then when I see they held me and were able to put me on the cage or something like that, so it really helped me understand the range, the distance, fighting as like a dance.
So we've had some really interesting championship fights this year, and I want to talk to you about the flyweight championship fight that we had at UFC Noche. Alexa Grasso defended her belt. So what are your thoughts on Alexa Grasso as a champion? And are you right in, I mean, do you agree with Valentina Shevchenko's comments that she was robbed in that fight?
I mean, I understand the frustration. Probably, it was a very close fight. I think it could have given to Valentina. So I think anytime if it could go either way, either one could feel that they were like robbed. But I mean, I'm a little bit biased. I'm friends with Alexa Grasso. I've seen her come up the whole time. Like her trying to get better and working her jiu-jitsu and working submissions and her striking. I think her striking is very like Mexican style boxing, going forward, nice technique, really good technique. And I seen her work hard. From strawweight, she went to the flyweight. And I think she found I don't think a lot of people fight Valentina like she fought Valentina. So for me, the champion, if you want to take the belt away, you need to do something more, like you need to really take the belt away. So I think Alexa deserved it. I think how she submitted Valentina to get the belt, I think that Valentina should have done something like bigger, than like to leave it too close. But I understand too how maybe she could be frustrated.
That's right. So moving on, Mark Zuckerberg has said that in the past that his wife is a huge fan of your fighting style. And so in a hypothetical setting, if Zuckerberg were to fight Elon Musk, how do you think that fight goes and who comes out
uh,
victorious?
yeah, I'm gonna go for Mark Zuckerberg. I think, I don't know. I haven't seen Elon's training. I haven't seen it. I don't know how much he's been training. I don't know what he's been training. But from my knowledge of Mark, from a while, I've seen him training a lot. Training jujitsu, and since I'm a jujitsu girl, that I think Elon is a little bit bigger, than Mark. I'm not sure by how much, but I think he's a little bit bigger. So for me, when I see like Mark that trained a lot of jujitsu and sparring and everything like that, I think he would be able to have like a good step on top up than Elon Musk. Because jujitsu, that's what it's for, for the smaller guy, to be able to defend himself or even be the bigger guy. So I think if just with, but he hurt his ACL now. He just tore his ACL. But
Yeah,
but it's okay. When he gets back, I think he'll do good. I think he'll win.
okay. So we don't want to take much of your time. You're competing this weekend again. Thank you so much for joining us. We just want to
Yeah.
wrap this up with a few rapid fire questions. So just answer with the first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay.
What's your favorite submission move?
Toe hold. Full luck.
Okay. Who, in your opinion, is the best grappler in the UFC?
The best grappler in the UFC, probably the Bronx.
Who's the best boxer in the UFC?
mm, Ah, maybe Max. I don't know. Max Holloway.
Yes, I have some good hands.
Yeah.
And what are your predictions for the main event? Alex Pereira versus Henry Prochazka.
Ah. Mm, I think Alex Pereira.
And who wins the fight between Leon Edwards and Colby Covington? Putting it out there.
Leon. Leon. Head kick. Again.
Oh, and who's your favorite submission grappler in the world today?
In the world?
Yeah.
Let's see. My favorite submission grappler in the world. Ah, I don't know. I think me. Give me myself.
That's a good answer. Yeah, that's a great answer. Thank you so much, Mackenzie, for your time, and we wish you all the best for this weekend. And
Thank
for
you so
all the Indian
much.
viewers, thank you so much for joining us. And for all the Indian viewers, you can don't miss the action. UFC 295, Mackenzie Dern fights on this card. Catch all the live action on Sony Network, and you can also watch the fights on Sony LIV platform. And this is Abhishek Nambia from Sportskeeda MMA signing off. Thank you, Mackenzie.
Bye. Thank you.